Hi, good to see you again. Welcome to Block 3, Fractions and Percentages of Amounts, Lesson 1. I'll share my screen. In today's lesson, we're going to learn how to find a fraction of any given amount. Help us grow our mission to educate the global population of children who may not have access to high quality maths education. So, to help us do that, like the video, share the video to those you think could benefit, subscribe to the channel, and click on the notification bell so that when new videos are released, you will be notified. Thank you for supporting us. Before we start, I would like you to do the retrieval practice questions in 3 minutes. So pause the video and do the retrieval practice questions in 3 minutes. All right, assuming you've paused the video and you've answered the questions, here are the answers. Here you ask which diagram represents a fifth. Now remember, when we discussed fractions, the denominator tells you how many parts you have split what you're trying to split. You have split your item into. So if this was seventh, you should have a diagram that has been split into 7 equal parts. So this represents the fifth. And then 1/5 means to take one part out of this fifth. Next, calculate 222 divided by 3. Remember the bus stop method or the short division we learned in our previous lesson. If you don't know how to do it, please go and watch that video again so that you can learn about it. So it's 74. It's the same approach we would use for 475 divided by 5, and that would be 95. Next, find the product of 2 and 95. So I had mentioned this in our previous lessons. When you see the word product in maths, it means to multiply. So the product of 2 and 95 means multiply 2 and 95, and that will give you 190. Okay, let's do our new learning for this lesson. If I ask you to find 1/5 of 30, remember our retrieval practice where we learned that the denominator tells us how many parts we need to split whatever we need to split or divide, how many parts we need to divide it into. So if we were to represent this as a model where 30 represents the model, it means we need to split 30 into 5 equal parts like this. Now, 1/5 means we just need one part of that. So if you do 30 divided by 5, that is 6, which means each part is equal to 6. Let's do it for another one. If we want to find 1/5 of 80, it means we need to split 80 into 5 equal parts. 1/5 means you take just one part of that. So if we split 80 into 5 equal parts, that will be 80 divided by 5, which means the 1/5 is just one part of the bar model, which is 16. Let's apply it to another one, 1/4 of 80. This means we need to split 80 into 4 equal parts, and then we just need one part of that, which gives us 20. It's now time for you to use what you've learned to answer questions 1 and 2. Pause the video and answer questions 1 and 2 in 3 minutes. All right, assuming you've paused the video and you've answered questions 1 and 2, here are the answers. So mark your work and celebrate your success. So you can see, using the approach, how easy it is. Take note that these are called unit fractions. So we have just been working with unit fractions. So fractions where we divide by the number of parts we want to divide using the denominator as our guide. And then we just need one part of it. That's called unit fractions. So we've been working with unit fractions. But we'll move on to this one now. So here is the second part of our learning. So if we have 2/5, we'll do exactly what we've done before, but this time we need two parts of those number of parts we have divided our amounts into. So in this case, we divide 30 into 5 equal parts, but we need two parts of that. That's what 2/5 of 30 means. And then that simply means, so 2/5 of 30 means divide 30 by 5. Once you know what that is, that means what each part is worth. 2/5 will then be 2 times whatever that is. So this is how it works. So we now know that if we divide 30 by 5, we have 6 in each of those parts. 2/5 means 2 lots of those parts. So to get that, you just do 2 times 6. So in general, anytime you have a fraction, you divide by the denominator and you multiply by the numerator. Divide by the denominator, and then whatever you get, you multiply it by the numerator. So even if you were to apply this in the unit fraction that we worked on, it would still work. So for example, 1/5 of 30 will be 30 divided by 5 is 6. 6 times 1 is 6. So 1/5 of 30 is 6. Okay, let's apply that to 3/4 of 80. So it means, again, we're using the bar model. By now, you know how to use the bar model. You know how it works. So we know, in general, 3/4 of 80 means 80 divided by 4. And then whatever you get, you multiply it by 3. So that gives you this result. Okay. All right. It's now time for you to work on non-unit fractions using what you've learned. So pause the video and answer question 3 in 1 minute. Assuming you've paused the video, here are the answers. So mark your work and celebrate your success. So completing the calculation will give you 40 divided by 5, which is 8. 8 times 3, 24. Pause the video and answer question 4 in 2 minutes. Assuming you've paused the video, here are the answers. So mark your work and celebrate your success. So here we were asked to use the bar model to help us complete our calculation. All right. So here it means 36 divided by 3, which is 12. 12 times 2 will be 24. Okay. So the bar model is just to help you think about it, but you could have done it without the bar model since we already know what we're doing. So here it means if you have 3 parts and then you're taking 2 parts of that, that's 40. So it means if you have 40 as the whole lot and then you divide 40 divided by 3, that should be 24, 24 for the 2 parts. Okay, you could do this without the bar model. The bar model is just mixed up here. Okay, so you could do this without the bar model. Okay. All right. Pause the video and answer question 5 in 3 minutes. You may use a calculator for this one to make it quick. All right, here are the answers. So you're simply dividing by 5 here. That's all you're doing. Here you divide by 5 and you multiply by 2. Here you divide by 8, you multiply by 5. Here you divide by 9, you multiply by 7. Okay? Here you divide by 9, you multiply by 11. All right. We now move on to the third segment or the third part of our lesson where we have to deal with word problems involving fractions of amounts. The way we do it is we really think about the problems and we use the same approach that we've used before. So the question reads, a jar contains 24 sweets. Annie eats 5/8 of the sweets. How many sweets does Annie eat? So we're thinking, okay, what are the number of sweets? 24. What is the fraction of sweets that Annie eats? 5/8. And they're asking us how many sweets Annie eats. So we're actually doing this calculation. So we know how it works now. We don't, yeah, you may draw your bar model if you want, but by now we know how it works. You divide by the denominator, you multiply by the numerator. So 24 divided by 8 is 3. 3 times 5 is 15. So we know already that is 15 sweets. Okay. All right, here is this one. This one, there are different ways to do it. We could use the bar model to do it. So I'll show you the bar model and we'll think about a different way to do it. So for the bar model, we know that 222 pages is the total. We know that Eva has read 1/3 of the book. So first, we need to work out 1/3 of 222. And then whatever is left, we need to work out 3/4 of that. That's what this question means. So it's about reading the question and understanding what you're asked to do. So we do 1/3 of 122, which is 74. Then whatever is left, which is to do 222 minus 74, or you say, okay, it has to be these two parts, which is 74 at 74. Either way, you get the same result. So you say, okay, let's cross out the one she's read, which is to do our subtraction. We know that 148 is left, but of that 148, she reads 3/4. So we need to divide by 4 to find out what she's read and multiply by 3. So another way of doing it is to cross out what she's read, and then whatever is left is what, answers the question. Okay? It's now time for you to have a go at the rest of the questions. So pause the video and answer questions 6 and 7 in 3 minutes. Assuming you've paused the video and you've answered the questions, here are the answers. For question 6, you were asked, Nija has 45 stickers. These are the stickers. She gives 2/5 to her sister. She gives 1/3 of her remaining stickers to Brett. How many stickers does Nija have left? Okay. By now we know how to do things like this. We don't really need to draw a bar model. So 2/5, of 45 will be 45 divided by 5. So that's our first step. So we want to work out 2/5 of 45. So we want to get the number of stickers she gives to her sister. So 45 divided by 5 is 9. 9 times 2 is 18. So she gave 18 stickers to her sister. Now, they're telling us that she gives 1/3 of her remaining stickers. So we need to know what's remaining. So we need to do 45 minus 18. Okay? So 45 minus 18. So we carry 1 from here. That's 3. Okay? So 15 minus 8 is 7. All right? That's now 3. 3 minus 1. So 27 stickers are left. Of these 27 stickers, read the question carefully. It says she gives 1/3 of her remaining stickers to Brett. So we need to do 1/3 of 27. Of course, by now you know how this works. We do 27 divided by 3, which is 9. 9 times 1 is 9. So she gave 9 stickers to Brett. All right. Now, how many stickers does Nija have left? So we know that she had 27. She had given 1/3 of that, which is 9. So 27 minus 9 will be, so we carry 1 from here. That's 1. 17 minus 9 is 6. Sorry, 8. 17 minus 9 is 8. All right. And then we have 1 there. Okay, 1 minus 0. So she has 18 stickers left. Okay, she has 18 stickers left. That's the answer there. Next, you ask, Whitney has a box of milk and dark chocolate. 11 of the chocolates are milk chocolate. There are 15 dark chocolates in the box. How many milk chocolates are in the box? So 11 of the chocolates are milk chocolate. So we say, well, we're only told that there are 15 dark chocolates in the box. Now, what you need to know is the whole thing should be 11 out of 11. Okay, so if 6/11 of the chocolates are milk chocolates, so it means the dark chocolates, all right, so 15 dark chocolates, so 11 out of 11. So 11 minus 6/11 will give us the dark chocolates because these are the milk chocolates. So we do, this is now 5/11. Yeah. So 5/11 represents, 5/11 represents 15. Yeah, 15 dark chocolates. So imagine having, remember what we said about this denominator, what it does. So imagine having a bar model where you split them into 11 equal parts. So let's have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's add another one, 11. And remember, this tells us how many we've taken. So imagine that we're told that we have 5 out of 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 out of 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 out of 11 represents 15. Okay. So if 5 out of 11, so 5 of these boxes represents 5 dark chocolate, it means each of these is 3 because 3 times 5 is 15. All right. So it means that the other 6 is going to have to be 6 times 3 because we have 6 of these boxes left. So that is why we were using the bar model, so that when you have questions like this, you can really think about what you're doing. So it means 6 boxes are left. We know each of the boxes contains 3. So that will be 3 times 6, which is why we have 18. Then if Whitney eats 3 milk chocolates, what fraction of the chocolates left are dark chocolates? So if Whitney eats 3 milk chocolates, so remember, these are the milk chocolates. So if she eats 3, we cross that one off. What fraction of the chocolates left are dark chocolates? So now, if she eats 3, we know that we now have, this is now, because we've taken one part off, this will now be, remember, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 5 out of 11. So if she's eating one off, we now have 10 parts left. And then this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So that will be 4 tenths. And then the other one is going to be 5 tenths. Okay, left. So it's going to be half. Okay. All right. Question 8. Pause the video and answer question 8 in 2 minutes. All right, assuming you've paused the video and you've answered the questions, here are the answers. Okay, here you were simply asked, a box usually contains 500 grams of cereal. The manufacturers increase the amount of cereal in the box by 1/5. Alex says, to get back to the original 500 gram, I would now need to eat 1/5 of the cereal in the box. Alex, and then here Alex is incorrect. Here is Mo is saying Alex is incorrect. She would need to eat less than 1/5 of the cereal to only have 500 gram in the box. So who is correct? Mo is correct. But what's the explanation of our answer? So let's actually write the numbers out, and then you understand why Mo is correct. So 500 gram. So the manufacturer increased the amount of cereal in the box by 1/5. So 1/5 means to divide by 5 and to times by 1. So 1/5, 500 divided by 5 is 100. Okay, 500 divided by 5 is 100. So it means 100 gram was added to the box. So 100 gram, that means 1/5. So the new weight of the box is 600 gram. Now, think about what Mo said. Let's just check what Mo has said. Or let's check what Alex has said. So Alex said, I would now need to eat 1/5 of the cereal in the box to get back to 500. So it means what she's saying is we need to work out 1/5 of 600 gram to get to 500 gram. But that is not right, because it means 1/5 of 600 gram will be 600 divided by 5. Now, 600 divided by 5, 5 into 60 is 12. Okay, with the 0 there, so it's 120. So 120 gram. So if we do 1/5 of 600, it means we're going to be taking 120 from the box of 600. So if I do 600 minus 120, okay, you carry 1 from there. Take 1 from there. That's 1. That's 5. 10 minus 2 is 8. 5 minus 1 is 4. So it's less than 500. So she's not right. So you can see why Mo is right. You need to eat less, than 1/5 of the cereal to get back to 500. Okay. And that brings us to the end of our lesson. So what have we learned so far in our first lesson in block 3? Is about calculating fractions of amounts. So we started by learning that to find the fraction of an amount, the denominator is telling you how many parts you need to divide that amount into. And then the numerator is telling you how many of those parts you need. But in general, what we learned is you divide by the denominator and you multiply by the numerator to get the actual fraction of amount you're looking for. And then we extended our learning to use bar models to represent what we know. We also extended our learning to solve problems, word problems, where we're working with fractions of an amount. And we looked at really challenging problems, which using the bar model really helps you to visualize what the fraction of amount question is all about and how to get to the solution. Really well done for sticking around, for learning your very first lesson for block 3, which is fractions and percentages of amounts. Until next time, take really good care of yourself, and bye-bye.